Hello, I'm Charlotte Giannotti. I'm from East Haddam, Connecticut. I'm here to support Jessica. I am against the Common
Just
Core
state your address,
standards.
please.
Yes, 45 Honey Hill Road,
Thank you
East
very much.
Haddam. I'm a little bit extra concerned about West Haven because my kids did attend elementary school here, and then I moved on to East Haddam. So it's kind of like this was home, so I felt it important to come and support Jessica. I don't have a big, long speech prepared. In fact, I didn't plan on talking at all. But I just have a couple of points that I'd like to make as a mom. One, Common Core state standards are not state standards at all, as was spoken before. It's actually a UN agenda that our federal government adopted and decided to pass on, and we all bought it hook, line, and sinker. And they're selling it to us as a state standard, which leads all Connecticut residents to believe that it's something that was formulated and pulled together right here in Connecticut, when in fact it's not. This particular education system, if you want to give it that much credit, is designed for the collective and not the individual child. Is your child common? Mine's not. I don't like my child being called common. I want him to be different and creative and an individual and be able to express himself and spend time doing things he enjoys doing. And when he's in class, if a question's asked by the teacher, I want him to be able to expand on his ideas and share with his classmates and, you know, really enjoy his educational experience so he can take it with him like us older parents all were able to do. Something that I don't know if anybody's aware of in here, I'm sure some of you are, that cursive has been eliminated from the curriculum. If you don't know that, it comes as a surprise and a shock.
What did they do in this curriculum?
What you need to realize is that our founding documents that were written for this nation are all written in cursive. So our kids won't be able to read them. Pretty sad, huh? What about a signature? Do you print yours? Probably not. You probably write something fancy and flashy. And I want my kids to be able to do the same. Little personal notes that you write to someone, you write a birthday card, you want to be able to do that in cursive. And it's just sad to me that it's gone. It's an art, yes, but it's also really important. It's a way to express ourselves. You'll also notice, if you have students in school, that there is a lot of emphasis placed on group work. I feel like, in a way, it's nice to work in a group, but sometimes it's a little intimidating. And a lot of times the kids' grades are based on group projects. Now my son, well, I have two sons. One was a kid that really excelled and could really do things on his own, and if he worked in a group, he might be the A student in the group, but he'd get a C because the group project got a C. Or he'd have to work and do everyone else's work in order to get that A for the group. Now my other son, he's a little more of a slacker, I might say. Anyhow, the point is, working in groups is working for the collective. And in some cases, that can be a good thing. Working in a group, working toward a common goal, I like that word. But I really prefer my child to be an individual thinker. I like him to be able to produce his work individually, be graded on his creativity. There is actually a computer program in the works right now that can correct an essay. Takes it out of the teacher's hands entirely. They can. My son got an assignment recently, and the rubric, if you're aware of that, it's kind of like a framework for an assignment that the kids get. He got this rubric for an assignment, and it literally spelled out what that essay was supposed to contain. Every sentence. The first sentence must have this. there must be 3 paragraphs. The second sentence must have this and not repeat sentence 2 from the first paragraph. It gets very, very technical. And I wondered why, which is why I did the research and found out that there are computer programs now to actually correct essays. Now, I'm sure we don't have those yet in our school systems, but they're coming. Now, that leads me to the point of, what is the teacher's job? I know a lot of teachers, and they didn't go to college to sit a kid in front of a computer and have them do a bunch of tests. They didn't go to school for that. They went to school because they love kids, and they really want those kids to blossom and become something, whatever God intended them to be when they grew up. And those teachers, you know, that's what they're there for, and that's what they want to be doing. They don't want to be putting my son in front of a computer, proctoring a test, watching the clock, making sure they follow all the rules so that that child will produce on that test the grade that he needs to, so that the teacher's evaluation will keep that job for that teacher. And, you know, I just find all of this very scary. There's so much information out there. And to reiterate what Jessica said, I really wish that if you have children and grandchildren and, you know, kids that you don't consider common, that you'll really do just a little more research. I'm not talking down to you. Please don't take it that way. You know, we all love these kids. Your kids, my kids, we all, you know. But the most important thing is that these kids get the best education they can get. And I personally don't believe it's through Common Core state standards. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Good evening. My name is Chris Seymour Kinzer, 52 Old Farm Road in Terryville, Connecticut. I was down here supporting Jessica as well. I wasn't planning on speaking, but I will be brief. Just a few things. Department of Education, started on the Carter. Head Start, No Child Left Behind. Sensing a pattern here? None of this stuff works. Government has no place in our child's education. Thank you.
City Council. For the second time, would anyone like to address City Council? For the third and final time,
Can I just,
I'm sorry, it's a one
one
time.
shot,
Yes.
one bite of the apple?
Would anyone else for the third time like to address the City Council? Hearing none, public information session is over at 8:30 p.m.